get a call from your favorite senior who tells you that the company where he works is recruiting and shares the induction link with you, promising to put in a good word for you with his manager. You're sitting at home all excited because you're thinking you won't have to grind for a job and this opportunity is like a dream. So you fire up your laptop and navigate to the recruitment link. Everything is going great. You successfully manage to enter your name in the first field without any spelling mistakes, and you come to the next part which says, please upload your resume. Oh no, I don't even have a resume, you think. And but first, you don't even know how to properly write one. Fortunately, you weren't caught in this situation because past you had attended my 5-minute workshop full of amazing tips and tricks that are nearly guaranteed to land you that job. So to that end, let's get into the tips and sections you should have on yours. So in today's presentation, I'm going to be sharing some useful tips that you can use to craft a great resume. And along the way, we're going to establish the 5 sections that should be on that resume. Before we go on though, I do want to mention something important. There is no best way to craft a resume. There is no perfect resume template that you can load on Microsoft Word and start typing on. Just think about the purpose of a resume. It is a brief summary of your skills, your achievements, and your experience, and how those relate to the specific job or company that you're applying to. And the job of that resume is to ensure that you find yourself in the chair across the desk from the hiring manager so you can explain further to why you're the best person to hire. All right, so the first section is going to be your name and contact information. So this section should obviously include your name and should also include your email and phone number. However, that if you're going to post your resume somewhere online, publicly, like Facebook or LinkedIn, you might want to leave your phone number off just in case you don't get spammed. You should also add a website or portfolio if you can, so the employer can choose to see more of your work if he chooses to, which may help you land an interview, and that's one foot in the door. That brings us to the next section on your resume, which should be your work experience. This is what I learned on Coursera, but I don't agree with it. Let me explain myself. Now, according to Coursera, you should list work experience before education. But in Pakistan, there are not enough jobs, let alone internships. And so you're not going to do yourself a favor showing off to the employer that you moved boxes and worked at a drive-thru at McDonald's to make some money during your semester. If, however, you've managed to gather some great experiences from internships though, or maybe part-time jobs, then definitely put that before the education section. The most important thing you can understand about your resume, other than the fact that it is an advertisement, is that recruiters don't have a lot of time to look at it. You might have put a lot of time into making it look as beautiful as well. But understand that when it gets to a recruiter's desk, probably in a stack of hundreds of others. And according to an article put up by the ladders.com, the average resume only gets 7.4 seconds of attention. So you need to make those count. All right, on to the next main tip. When you're listing out your job descriptions, highlight achievements, status, and duties. And if you can, back up those achievements with numbers. I'm going to highlight those so it's easier for you to pick out. Moving on to the education section. So I guess the first tip I want to talk about is here how to strategically place your education section. So if you are in college or you're just out of college, it may make sense to put your education section before your work experience, as I've already talked about not having any work experience. That just leaves us with the question of GPA. Do you include it on your resume or do you leave it off? Here's what I learned. If your GPA is a 3.2 or above, put that on your resume. Otherwise, leave it off. Once you get an interview, you get a chance to explain why your GPA might not be as high as you'd like it to be. Maybe your skills and experience outweighs, and you realize that putting more effort into other projects was more beneficial than trying to get perfect grades. But again, your resume only gives a few seconds of attention, so you don't want to lead with things that are going to throw up red flags. Speaking of red flags, let's talk about. First and foremost, do you even need to have a skills section on your resume? Well, the answer is it depends on who you are. So typically, it's useful to have a skills section if you have specific certification or skills that the job is going to be looking for. This is especially useful if you know how to use CADing software or Adobe After Effects. Don't create a skills section if all you're going to put in it is MS Office. The last 2 sections of your resume, Extracurriculars and Awards. These sections can bolster the work experience on your resume by showing the clubs and organizations that you are part of, by listing any leadership positions you have taken in this club, which you should definitely list, and listing any awards, honors, scholarships, anything like that that you've won as well. These sections are essentially a non-pathetic way of writing hard work on your resume. They might not convey specific skills, but they do convey other traits that recruiters are definitely looking for. A hard work ethic, the ability to adapt and change, the ability to work independently, and your likelihood to step into leadership roles. So absolutely make sure that you have these two sections on your resume. Avoid mainstream words such as good communicator. They don't leave a good impression at all. Thank you, everyone.